Okay, last question.
All right.
What advice do you have for someone entering the workforce?
Don't oversell yourself because you raise a false expectation with the employer. And you have to talk about what you're willing to do. And when you make those statements of what you're willing to do, those are real commitments. Those are promises that you have to keep. And so it's important that you, rather than raise false expectation of your employment, because you won't last a week, you won't meet the employer's expectation. But if the employer sees this integrity in you and this earnest effort that you're putting forward to do the job and to make sure that it's worthwhile for him to invest in you, then that investment will be recognized and he'll spend the time with you. But if you try to BS your way into a job, that's why you flush it down the toilet. It's not worth anything. What you need to do is be truthful and and not to raise false expectation in your employer. Tell them how willing you are to learn the job, what your attitudes are about people, and just explain to him or her what you bring to the party. And another mistake that people make is they don't even bother to find out what business that person's in. They just go knock on a door and hand an application. And that wouldn't mean much to you if you were looking for someone. You'd want someone to at least know about your business, to have some idea of how hard it was for you to get to that position, how important him hiring somebody, especially today where jobs are hard to come by, and then to have that employer turn around and say, I'm willing to invest in this person because I really think he understands my business. Well, if you didn't even bother, especially today with you kids having the access to the internet and not do research on that employer, to walk up to that door and not even know who owns the company, or not even know what the company produces, or not even know what that job entails, shame on you for even going there. You know, I used to have a trick when I was doing the marketing job for Honeywell. I would take a new salesman, we'd always drive around back of the factory. And he would always ask me, why are we going around back of the factory? And I said, I wanted to see what the loading dock looked like. Because if the loading dock was full and a lot of activity in the loading dock, then I knew he could afford my services. And if things looked pretty bleak back there in the loading dock, then I would know maybe he's not a prospect for our services. It's basically trying to find out, why are you there and what value do you add? It's really all about that. But that's a sin if you just fill out applications, especially today where you do them online. And one of the things that's so cute about doing them online is that the computer sorts them. The computer, every job has a list. Well, I'll tell you, this is something you should tell your instructor. Every job has a list of what they are required to do. And unless your application meets the requirements of that list, then you're not even going to be considered for the job because the computer is going to sort you out. So the trick is to do some research on the company, find out what that job entails. What qualifications do I have to meet that job? And if you don't have the qualifications, don't lie that you do, but tell them how willing you are to learn those qualifications. And then the employer might be willing to invest in you. I guess that answers your question. How many more we got?
We're all done,
We're all
actually.
done? Well, listen, to all your classmates, if they happen to get to watch this, you've been given a chance, a second chance. And that is a credit to the state of Connecticut and the educational system, because they understand you are gifted. And they understand that the educational process as it's defined doesn't reach you. And it's important that you understand, because they're making this investment in you, that you have a responsibility to respond. You have to be willing to take those things that are in a blast of the trumpet to you, because they're giving you a second chance. And you know, you don't get too many second chances in life. And so do me a favor and grab it, take it. And when you don't understand, find the answer, ask the question. Pretty important. Good luck to everybody.